NAVA acknowledges the Gadigal and Wangal peoples of the Eora Nation as the traditional custodians of the land on which this was filmed, and pay respects to First Nations communities, ancestors and elders.
So my name is Connor, also known as Foot. I would consider myself a queer multidisciplinary menace, predominantly working in the fields of photography and textiles. I have a bit of a long road. I actually started as a writer, fell out of writing and was like, I want a more visual form, I want to see it. Maybe a bit of a narcissistic instant gratification type of thing. But being able to see something with eyes is better for me.
What has been a turning point in your career?
It's a little bit of a personal journey, I think. It's less of a single experience and more as a queer individual who's gender non-conforming. It sort of took me a little bit to work out who I was. And then when I'd hit that point to work out who I was, I knew what I wanted to say. And I think that was more important to me than anything else that I'd seen or witnessed. It came from in here. That sounds soppy, but it's true.
What is the most pressing issue for you as an artist right now?
Again, I kind of have two. It's a split into, I sort of find there's a bit of an exhaustion of the hustle, if you will. Art, currently in our landscape, there's not a lot of stability within work. And so you sort of find yourself saying yes to a lot of things. And sometimes you saying yes to a lot of things is at a drawback of possibly your limitations. But it's just kind of what needs to happen. So that can be really frustrating. And I think also I'm just struggling with the inherent landscape of Australian art when it comes to white cube space. I'm one of those annoying, abrasive little menaces who are very anti-white cube. So it can be hard finding opportunities to exhibit or show work in spaces that are not founded under that idea. I find my work is actually interestingly community driven, which I didn't think it ever would be. It comes from a very personal practice, but I find that the way that my work connects with people has led me into an area where the spaces that I pick are very deliberate to open up conversation and have messaging and questions asked, and possibly, I think subconsciously, I pick spaces that I feel could benefit from a little bit more of an abrasive question being asked.
What is something you wish you knew when you were starting out as an artist?
Personally, from a practice point of view, there are two lessons that I always tell others that approach me that I wish that I was told. You need other creatives in your life. You need to surround yourself with voices to bounce back and forth off. I think that's really important. And I think the second one is that no is not a negative word. You're going to hear a no a lot. Take the no, build upon it, come back with something else.
How has NAVA's code of practice been useful to your work as an artist?
I find it super beneficial to have like a kind of a universal standard to come back to, because I get so confused about what is being often presented to me. And so to have, even at a baseline, just resources to pull yourself into and go and look at is so useful. Even I just come back to like rates now and then because I'll just forget it on the top of my head. So,
what brings you joy in your work?
I think there's like a bit of a personal answer to that and an external answer. So my external answer is returning to that. I love getting people to question the sort of the values that they hold and the idea of the world that they have. And then from a personal perspective, it's a continuing journey of exploration, because my journey as an individual through gender and my own body will continue throughout my whole life. So my art practice is very in tune with that exploration. But I'm just very lucky that in my exploration, I'm able to sort of hook in others to bring in a conversation where maybe people did not think that our values would ever align, but somewhere in there they do, which I find very fascinating.